Welcome! Today I'm going to show you the ETS Import, which is the first step of creating a visualization, where the data from the KNX system is exported from the ETS and then imported into Optima. In your ETS application, when you have an open project, you have a menu with one entry called Options. Here you will find OPC Export, which is a function that generates two files, one ending with ESF, the other ending with PHD. The most important for us is the ESF file, because it contains all the group addresses, with all their details. The PHD file contains the physical addresses, something you usually use only during the programming phase in the ETS. But in some cases, when a KNX device is not working properly, or you suspect that there could be a faulty device, this file is useful because it will show you a list of all the physical addresses, and choosing one of them allows you to set a periodical ping of that device. Optima will then contact the device periodically, waiting for an answer. If the answer does not come, Optima can trigger a notification. The ESF file is necessary for us, while the PHD file can also be downloaded later, if needed. Before we move on to the import, let me add some more theory first. During the ETS import, two important things are happening. First, each group address is being analyzed and Optima tries to find a match within its rules. If that succeeds, you will obtain a KNX object as a result, which will have a matching icon and a matching graphical element, through which the user can set it in the visualization. An on-off switch will of course need something different than a temperature set point or a dimmer. This KNX object we obtain is like a box, where the group address is put. Additionally to the group address, the box also has a set of other features and properties, which raise the possibility of interaction with a group address enormously. Summing up, the first step consists in taking the group addresses and turning them into KNX objects, also setting the main properties of these KNX objects automatically. The second step is trying to figure out the relations between group addresses. There are different ways to achieve this. If these relations were already defined in the ETS, Optima can get them from the ESF file. If they can be found using other logics, analyzing their names, group addresses, or both, there is a way of explaining these logics to the system. To finally get a visualization, which always shows the current state of all the devices, it is important that Optima knows all about those relations. Now let's see how to do an ETS import. We go to the administration of Optima and then move to Technologies and KNX. Among all the entries there, we choose ETS Import. And have a look at that page. At the top we can select the ESF file and the PHD file to be read. By leaving all the options at their default value and by clicking Next at the bottom, the import will start immediately. So the single group addresses are parsed. The matching of a function and an icon and a corresponding graphical element are tried, looking at the group address's name and data type, and status feedback objects are set according to the info defined in the ETS. As a result, we will see a short report showing the imported group addresses and status feedback relations. This report may be followed by a list of objects which could not be matched to any rule. We have several possibilities to handle this list. We can match the objects manually, or we can adapt the rules to match the left out objects. Then letting the system scan the list again. In that case, the list should become shorter. If that is not the case, as a last option, we can simply ignore the unmatched devices and complete the procedure by clicking Next. In that case, Optima will still import all the group addresses, but the ones without a magic graphical element will remain hidden, so I will not be able to show them in a room as long as I don't add the missing info manually. Finally, the procedure will load the empty ETS Import page again. Now we will find all the imported objects under ETS project. Showing the same hierarchy created in ETS. We can now search one or more objects by name. By group address, or by a part of the name of the group address. Then using one or more of the results to edit a detail or to put them in a room or some other function. If we have a look at the ETS Import Rules page, we see the set of predefined rules. Which are used by Optima to try to match group addresses to a function and an icon during the ETS import. This, as already said before, is done by looking at the name and the encoding of a group address. If you plan to use Optima for more than one project, you should take your time to carefully adapt these rules to your specific needs. To do that, start from an empty project and carefully edit the rules. Then export the empty project with the edited rules. In the future, whenever you start a new project, you can use the backup file as a starting point. With such a system of imported rules, perfectly matching your way of naming devices, the path from the ETS to a working visualization becomes incredibly short. Try it!
Divus.